Australia's infamous for the variety of ways its wildlife can kill you. Deadly snakes, spiders and jellyfish. But when it comes to inspiring fear, Australia's saltwater crocodiles are in a category of their own. They can grow to more than 20 feet, weigh over a tonne, and have a bite force strong enough to crush a human skull. Salties, as Australians call the apex predators, live across swaths of the country's north. They're protected by law, and because of that, their numbers have surged in recent years, creating friction with another species, humans. In the tropical city of Darwin, the sunsets on the beach are spectacular, though most people stay well away from the water. Darwin's surrounded by crocodile habitat, and salties are known for being territorial. A quick dip in the sea would be over in a flash if you ran into this creature. So it's just luck?
Yeah, luck.
You could go for a swim here and be fine.
I wouldn't go for a swim, no.
Okay. On the shores of Darwin's idyllic harbour, crocodiles sometimes show up in backyards. Anywhere they get too close to humans, Tom Nichols and his team of government rangers have the job of removing them.
One of those crocs that doesn't want to open his mouth.
They're known as problem crocodiles, though catching them is fairly easy in cages baited with wild boar meat. It's getting an angry salty out of a floating trap with a rope and a zip tie that's an art form. Nichols told us this 6-footer wasn't fully grown yet, but could easily kill a human.
Now, this size crocodile, he wouldn't kill you by biting unless he bit you in a certain place, but he would drown you quite easily. He'd take you down and underwater, and then he'll come back up and then start spinning around.
And that's what they call the death roll.
The death roll, that's correct.
That's how a crocodile took off half of Nichols' left hand, just over 20 years ago, in this exact spot.
With the crocodile, if he didn't spin, I would have been all right. But the trouble is, he's spinning, he spun all my hand around.
You operate just fine with 3 fingers on your left hand. Is there anything you can't do?
Yeah, pick my nose with my left.
All joking aside, salties are the largest reptiles on the planet. Much bigger than alligators, and according to some scientists, the Australian crocs are the world's most aggressive. But that didn't protect them from hunters.
The huge reptile is mastered, one of 33 captured on this exciting trip.
By the 1970s, they were so close to extinction, with just a few thousand left, that Australian officials banned nearly all crocodile hunting. Since then, the population's bounced back to over 150,000 and counting. That's a conservation success story to some, a menace to others.
Crocodiles are way misunderstood. They've survived the times of the dinosaurs, and that is a question of respect.
They're also pretty scary.
Not really. Humans are far more scary. We kill each other for a lot less, for money. And crocodiles only kill for food.
Trevor Sullivan keeps 10 saltwater crocodiles in his backyard, behind patched-up chain-link fencing. Can I stand up on the back here? Oh my God.
Sharp, sharp.
He feeds them whole chickens by hand. He rescued most of them from crocodile farms and research facilities, including the biggest one, Shah, who's over 120 years old and missing part of his jaw. Trevor, what would happen if this fence wasn't here?
Nothing.
What do you mean, nothing?
I've fed him in there. I've gone in and fed him.
You go over the fence?
Yeah.
With a 16-foot crocodile?
He's not a problem. That one is. It's all right here. It's all right, Shah.
Sullivan's a self-described conservationist and told us he keeps crocodiles to prove they can coexist safely with humans.
They answer to their name. They come when you can teach them. You can train them. Get them into a routine. They're not just pet, they're family.
I'm sorry, their family?
Their family.
Okay, so just for the sake of clarity, they don't see you as food?
No, I bring food.
You're also a big chunk of protein.
Yes. Dogs eat meat. They don't generally see you as food.
Rangers are searching for a killer crocodile which hunted down...
The truth is that crocodiles do kill people, though we were surprised to learn that only around 50 deaths have been reported in Australia since hunting was banned half a century ago. That might be because of public education campaigns, warning people to keep a distance. Many of those who've been killed by salties misjudged where it was safe to swim or go fishing. But there's also anger in Australia that the law protects crocodiles instead of people.
They die? Yeah, well, so do we at the end of the day.
Bob Katter is a member of Australia's Parliament with a reputation as a combative lawmaker.
You're going to get a big bath.
Order.
You're going to get a big bath.
Order.
You're a very popular man in these parts. One of Katter's most controversial positions is that he wants the crocodile hunting ban repealed.
Yes.
His electorate is about 1,000 miles southeast of Darwin. Much of it's farmland, where cattle are sometimes eaten by salties. When you were growing up in Northern Australia, did you used to go swimming in the rivers here?
Oh, absolutely. You know, every Saturday, Sunday, you'd be down the river.
Can the children do that now? Can they go swimming in the river?
No way. No way you would risk your life if you went near any of these waterways.
He told us he's tempted to risk arrest by shooting a crocodile himself. You think the law is evil?
Yes, absolutely. A law that puts the value of crocodile over a human being, that is a definition of evil.
Bob Katter believes that legalising crocodile hunting would make waterways safe again and turn a profit by attracting big game hunters. Other Australians disagree with his science and his economics. They say salties are worth more alive than dead. Darwin's roaring tourism trade relies in large part on crocodiles.
Wow, look at that, guys. Great time to see crocodiles now. Beautiful. Oh, yeah.
Just outside the city, you can pay for a close encounter with some cold-blooded killers.
And he'll be waiting for you to look away. He'll move real quick.
Oh my God!
Believe me, if he grabs hold of you, that's it. You're gone.
Humans and crocodiles have shared this land for around 50,000 years. We drove to Kakadu National Park to meet some of Australia's Indigenous people. Kakadu is bigger than Connecticut, home to a few hundred people and around 10,000 crocodiles.
Yeah,
oh, thank you.
This way. Yeah.
Gleeson Nabulwad is an Indigenous Australian who works as a river guide.
Look like something in there.
Like other traditional owners, he's permitted by law to hunt crocodiles for food. How do you hunt it?
Spear.
With a spear. Is it good eating?
Yeah, they taste like fish.
Like fish. Nabulwad and his friend Robert Namarnyuk told us Indigenous Australians disagree about salties just like other Australians. Some favour commercial hunting. Others prize them as a totem or spiritual emblem that should be left alone.
It's like a crocodile and us. We've been together for a very long time.
You have a special connection?
Yes. Yeah.
Trevor Sullivan is also of Indigenous ancestry. He believes living with saltwater crocodiles is not just possible, but a privilege.
It's the best fun. Being able to coexist with saltwater crocodiles, the most dangerous predator on Earth, and your croc attacks are almost non-existing.
But isn't one fatal attack of a human being too many attacks?
Well, what are we supposed to die from?
Millions of years before people ever set foot on this wild land, Australia was croc country. As humans debate their future, the crocodiles are a lesson in survival.
With more than 150 million copies sold in 40 languages, Guinness World Records is one of the best-selling books in history. In it, you'll find the shortest, tallest, and fastest, alongside jaw-dropping human feats and 8th grade bathroom humor. As Cecilia Vega first told you in November, some achievements are so over the top it was hard to keep a straight face during the interviews. But behind the spectacle, a meticulous system of British auditing, so strict it has crushed many more record attempts than it has certified. Even if what you see defies belief, you can trust that if it made it into the book, it is real and, as Guinness World Records declares, officially amazing.
Are you ready?
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling pumped.
Yeah?
Yeah.
For Colin Kaplan, the stakes couldn't be higher.
Not in my wildest dreams could I have ever thought that I'd be doing anything like this.
After a year of planning, he's about to find out if his city, New Haven, Connecticut, can eat its way into history by hosting the world's largest pizza party.
Let's get some pizza!
Kaplan, a local historian and food tour guide, is so obsessed with pizza, last year he chartered a jet to Washington and got his congresswoman to declare New Haven the pizza capital of America.
New Haven pizza capital, baby!
Is this a serious endeavor?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it is. I'll tell you what, it seems light and fun, but it's serious in a sense of what's on the line.
What's on the line is the glory of a Guinness World Record, and people will do just about anything to get one.
Humans are such an interesting bunch, aren't we? And record breaking is an innately human thing. And if that means you do strange things like swallowing sausages whole or climbing Everest or running a marathon with a milk bottle on your head, then that's fine, that's great.
Craig Glenday has been the book's editor-in-chief for the past 21 years.
I really like that, so I think we want more of that.
In his signature Scottish accent, he recounts with a straight face what is often a circus of absurdity.
You know, we get things like fastest time to run around my garden playing the banjo with a snake on my head. It's like, next. They get a nice letter of like, thank you, but no thank you.
Cutest babies and cutest dogs don't make the cut either. Records must meet strict criteria. They have to be filmed from multiple angles, verified by independent eyewitnesses, and measured with precision. Each year, Guinness World Records receives roughly 50,000 applications, but as many as 95% get rejected. The largest number of submissions come from the United States.
One of my favourite days in the job was I was at the X Games at the Staples Centre in LA, and a dog zipped past me on a skateboard. And despite the heat, I chased after this dog, and I found the owner and said, I've never seen a dog on a skateboard. And he said, oh, this is Tillman. He loves skateboarding. I had a tape measure. We measured out 100 metres of the car park at the Staples Centre, and we set the record there and then, because I was so amazed by it.
Do you just walk through the world with a tape measure in your pocket?
Well, I do usually. Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah, I have a tape measure and a stopwatch, because you never know.
Many of the record holders you know. Usain Bolt for the fastest 200 meters, Beyoncé for the most Grammys, and many you've probably never even imagined.
Go.
Like serial record breaker David Rush, an Idaho tech worker who has broken more than 350 records and counting, including most bites taken from 3 apples while juggling for a minute.
Just past the 2-mile mark.
And most t-shirts worn during a half marathon. And Monsieur Mange Tout. That's Mr. Eats Everything in French. He held the record for the world's strangest diet.
The guy he'd supposedly eaten a Cessna because he could eat metal and glass.
A Cessna plane?
Well, apparently it took him 2 years. We couldn't quite
Doesn't
give
sound
him...
very healthy.
Well, I mean, his wife wouldn't let him use the toilet at home because if he'd been eating metal, it tends to come out like bullets and it would chip the porcelain. So he'd have to use a hotel with metal toilets near his house.
This is the craziest interview I've ever done. Just say.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. Go back to what you were saying, that when you...
I mean, for me, it's every day, so I don't quite get it, but yeah, okay. He could do glass and metal. He couldn't do chains, but to meet him was a real honour for me because he was like a childhood hero for me.
You must get this question all the time. Why?
Why? I mean, it's different for everyone. Everyone has a different reason. Some just want fame. Some want to be in print. we do validate people that do things that others might seem a bit weird, like eating aircraft and stuff. So
Do you not see that as weird?
I mean, I see it as really interesting.
I gotta tell you, I thought it would be a little crazier in here.
Inside the company's London headquarters, Glenday keeps a cabinet of greatest hits.
It's Craig's cabinet of curiosities.
Like the world's smallest playing cards and a giant size 29 shoe.
My arm. I'm like the Vanna White of oddities here. What is this?
If you have a little investigation of that, it's the world's oldest vomit.
Vomit?
Vomits about
You got me on that one.
160. It doesn't smell, and it's obviously petrified. You know,
Not everyone chooses to break records.
I'm 5'10", so what was she?
She's just on 7 foot.
The tallest and shortest people often have had genetic conditions. The woman with the longest fingernails, 43 feet, hasn't cut them since her daughter, who painted her nails, passed away in 1997.
So she still holds the record?
Still has the record, and I think that's the longest ever measured.
The idea for the book began during a hunting trip at this country estate in Ireland, where the manager of the Guinness brewery got into an argument over who could name the fastest game bird in Europe. To settle future pub debates, he commissioned a book of superlatives, which eventually became the Guinness World Records. The first one was published in 1955.
The initial reaction from the book trade was not that positive. In the first sales meeting ever, the salesperson wrote 6 on the slip, and they said, "Do you mean 6,000? 600?" I said, "No, 6."
They just wanted 6?
6 for the whole country.
Copies?
Yeah. By the end of the week, it was like 10,000.
They sold that quickly.
And it was just blew up.
70 years later, it's still a hit at school book fairs, but today the name Guinness World Records is synonymous with viral stunts that become clickbait gold.
Is Google your biggest competition? I could pull my phone out right now and search the world's fastest bird.
You might as well open the window and shout your question into the street, and you'll get an answer, yeah, but is it the right one? Well, I can say I know Sultan Kosen's 8'3" because I was there with the tape measure. I measured him.
He's also measured the shortest person, who he learned about after a woodcutter passed through a remote village in Nepal and alerted the team at Guinness World Records.
So it was confidence enough for me to then go to Nepal.
You get on a flight and go to Nepal to measure this person?
Yeah. And we would never have known about him had that woodcutter not gone through the village that day and sent us the video footage.
And then there are the rules. So rigid they've sparked office debates over who makes the cut for the largest gathering of people dressed as Smurfs.
So it's like, okay, well, what is a Smurf? What do they wear? Do they all have blue skin? Yes. You know, you might have to write guidelines for any possible topic. So we've got this huge big book of experts, you know, from archaeologists
to Smurfs.
To Smurfologists, yeah, I don't know if that's a thing. But, you know, like we've got a myrmecologist, which...
What is that?
Myrmecologist, an ant expert. So if we've got a question about what's the most dangerous ant...
Quick, get the myrmecologist online
so you
now.
get like, we've just found this big ant. Is it the biggest?
For large events like the New Haven Pizza Party,
I am today's official Guinness World Records adjudicator, so I'm basically the judge.
Guinness World Records sometimes sends an adjudicator responsible for enforcing the rules from headquarters.
You're going to write how many people you disqualified. Hopefully that is a nice big round 0.
Thomas Bradford is one of 81 adjudicators the company employs across 6 continents. His day job is as a performer at Disney, but when it's go time, he puts on his trademark blue jacket.
The largest gathering of people dressed as dinosaurs was one of my favorite events. And you kind of expect people to just come in the classic, you know, inflatable T-Rex costume.
What do they come in?
Diplodocus, Triceratops, like you name it, we had it.
Legit gear.
Everything. I had to turn away people that were dressed as Godzilla, because Godzilla is not a dinosaur.
How do you break it to a dinosaur in a bad costume that they don't qualify?
You kind of just have to play the role. I think my accent helps, and there is a level of, you know, authority that comes from a British accent. Very much that. The largest pizza party is probably the most competitive record that I've ever been a part of.
Is that true?
I didn't think it would be as, it's a lot, yes.
They're stressing you out?
This is probably one of the most stressful record attempts I've had.
Colin Kaplan needs 3,358 people to show up in order to beat the current record.
You want to beat Tulsa?
We're going to beat Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Participants get 15 minutes to eat 2 slices of pizza and drink a bottle of water. But here's the catch. They have to stay until the party is officially over, and
they must eat the entire pizza. No one can leave their crusts. They have to eat the crust.
What makes a pizza party like this so difficult?
People. Yeah. It's, you don't know if they're going to stay for 15 minutes. They might wait for 14 and be like, I'm fine. You're disqualified if you leave after 14 minutes, So that's, the people is the toughest thing. This official Guinness World Records attempt has begun!
At first, it was slow going.
What if not enough people show up, or have you guys already accounted?
But then, in came the pizza obsessed. College students, children, those in their finest pepperoni attire.
It's 10,000 slices, which is 625 pizzas in about 3.5 hours.
Kaplan's pursuit of a record didn't come cheap. Brands and businesses chasing titles for marketing must pay fees. He said he paid nearly $30,000 and fundraised 6 figures to cover all the costs, including 8 ovens and all that cheese.
There you are. Thank you so
When
much.
Thomas Bradford wasn't busy being a celebrity, he and a group of 100 volunteers kept the tally.
Only 2 didn't finish? Yes. 1 left? Perfect, okay.
With an hour to go,
It's gonna go to the wire, I think. It's gonna be close.
Kaplan was still trying to make the pie calculations add up.
We could actually feed 1,800 people starting at 6 o'clock still.
Okay,
and that means that we could 100% beat the record and almost get to 5,000.
So did they? Finally, the verdict.
And now, New Haven is home to the world's largest pizza party.
4,525 people gathered for a new Guinness World Record.
Congratulations, New Haven. You are all officially amazing.
And a slice of history.
Human beings are innately the same everywhere. They are really, because they're trying to get through from birth to death and have as much fun and enjoy life and get all the experiences that you can. And we see this every day. The world is full of these amazing, fun things if you just look in the right place.
Everest, Earth's highest mountain, needs no introduction. At 29,032 feet, it sits not only at the top of the world, but at the top of countless bucket lists. 40,000 people trek to Everest Base Camp in Nepal every year. This past spring, we joined them, hiking for 10 days, sometimes on all fours, often barely breathing. And we could not have done it without the Sherpas. Indigenous to the Everest region, Sherpa is an ethnic group, a last name, and a job description. Often cast as superhuman, they are the porters and guides who risk their lives to help others reach the summit, with little recognition. Our guide, Nima Rinji Sherpa, is part of a new generation hoping to change that. High in the heart of the Himalayas sits Lukla, one of the most dangerous airports in the world.
You see how short that is? It's incredible. It doesn't look very safe.
Where the short, unforgiving runway is carved into the edge of a cliff. There is no margin for error.
Bravo, bravo, well done. Oh, yes.
It is the start of what will be a 10-day trek to base camp at 17,598 feet elevation.
I mean, that's crazy.
We meet our porters, who strap 800 pounds of our camera gear to their backs and heads before setting off on the trail.
I guess you're always training.
Nima Rinji Sherpa, the youngest person to summit the world's 14 highest mountains, has trekked up this mountain more times than he can count. A veteran who is just 19.
Watch yourself.
We begin our journey dodging animals at 9,337 feet. Prayer wheels, believed to send blessings with every turn, mark the way. Out here, you learn the mountain etiquette quickly. When you hear the warning bells, you get out of the way fast. Porters, often overloaded with almost twice their body weight, rule the fast lane. All in, it will be a 50-mile trek and 8,261-foot climb to Everest Base Camp. An ungraceful uphill grind. We've spent months training for it, studied the route, and yet nothing prepares you for this.
Just look down and finish.
I am not looking down. Don't talk. Oh, God. It's windy. I do not like this at all.
Another suspension bridge dangles 45 stories above a roaring gorge below.
You can't be scared of anything if you do what you do.
Of course, you are scared, but you have to balance it in a way that you can be confident, when you do things.
What do you tell yourself when you get scared?
I'm just trying to calm myself down and just realize who I am.
With every step, we move deeper into Sherpa country and closer to the shadow of Everest.
Is there a spiritual connection to Mount Everest?
I think if there is no Everest, we'll still be farming, we'll still be looking after the yaks, the goats, and the mountain has given us like a meaning to life, I think, yeah.
Mount Everest has given the Sherpa people a meaning.
Yeah.
Almost 150,000 Sherpas live in Nepal, less than 1% of the country's population. Renowned for their endurance, they thrive where oxygen is scarce. Among them, one name rises above all.
Did you grow up learning about Tenzing Norgay?
Yes, we had to learn about him.
Nepalese guide Tenzing Norgay and his...
In 1953, Tenzing Norgay, a Sherpa from Nepal, guided Sir Edmund Hillary of New Zealand on the first ever summit of Everest. It was among the most defining moments of the 20th century. And yet, while it cemented Hillary in history, Norgay's contribution was largely overlooked.
What does he mean to the Sherpa people?
I think it was because of him, who made the Sherpa a brand today. And for me, he was always a very big motivation just to understand that, okay, maybe we can also be someone like him.
Today, Nima is chasing the recognition that once eluded his idol. It doesn't hurt that he comes from mountaineering royalty. His dad holds the record as the youngest person to summit Everest without supplemental oxygen. His uncles were the first brothers to conquer the world's 14 highest mountains. We are in good hands as we arrive in Namche at 11,300 feet.
Best one is this.
Here, we meet Nima's uncle, Mingma Sherpa, a former yak farmer who started as a porter, earning $1 a day carrying loads for foreigners.
I come to Kathmandu, carry the lot by porter, 30 kg, 70 kg. I show off the people, I'm strong. I carry like 90 kg too.
It's almost 200 pounds.
He climbed, literally, to the ranks of Sherpa Guide, a top job reserved for the strongest and most skilled.
Every step is do and die. Every step is maybe we are alive or not alive,
Every step is dangerous.
It's dangerous. Sometimes it's nighttime work, sometimes it's avalanche. But our goal is summit.
In 2009, Mingma and his brothers started their own company, 7 Summit Treks, responsible for nearly a third of all Everest expeditions. Now they want to prove that Sherpas are more than indispensable guides to Western climbers, and they are banking on Nima to show that Sherpas can be climbing stars too.
We're almost near Camp 1 now.
At 16, while most teenagers his age were in a classroom, Nima was doing this, climbing into what's known as the death zone. That's when the altitude is above 26,000 feet and the body's organs begin to shut down minute by minute. For his first summit in 2022, Nima climbed and recorded on his way up Nepal's Mount Manaslu.
So that first climb, how hard was it?
Yes,
Don't
it was
say
hard.
easy.
It was hard, but every second I was excited because I never knew what I was gonna see after 10 meters. Of course, the main problem that I had was I had a lot of muscle cramps, and I think it's mostly because I was too young for my age to start at that time. I was sleeping at night. I had some pain in my lungs, some pain on my heart, but for some reason I don't know why I kept wanting to go up, and I never felt like I was gonna not summit.
Even in the face of avalanches and serious injuries, it took Nima just 2 years to scale all of the world's 14 tallest mountains. The previous record holder did it in 9 years.
What does it take to do this?
So there has to be a lot of meaning. Why do you want to do it? And because many times the mountains will start to question you why you are here.
The mountains question you.
The mountain question you because when you go to Everest, you can feel the energy that you are so small. At that time, you have to have a really like an iron heart to know why you are here. You cannot say I'm just here for fun. That's the worst thing that you can convince yourself.
So why are you there?
I was on a mission to finish all the 14, and I knew I belong in this industry, and so everyone has their own reason, and the reason has to be really big that you don't give up, So getting the crampons ready.
Despite the achievement, big brands never offered endorsements the way they have for Western mountaineers who reach summits.
Do you think the fact that you haven't received any of those endorsements has to do with where you're coming from?
Maybe yes, because of that, but I know my time is gonna come. I don't want to rush.
It sounds like the same deliberate, considered approach you take to those mountains, the one you've taught us walking up these mountains.
Yes.
Wow, steep. Holy smokes.
By day 5, it is a battle between our lungs and gravity.
That's when you feel it in your legs. You said push off the poles, right? You're not out of breath, I am.
We are at 13,500 feet elevation.
Me.
At this point, our inner thoughts are no longer being held in.
This is really hard. They can catch me on the camera taking a break. I don't care.
It just looks close, but there's another.
More stairs. I have to emotionally prepare. Gets a lot harder.
Final way to Porte. Steep.
Very steep. You're used to it.
After 8 hours of trekking, we arrive in Portsea,
Thank you.
the remote village where Nima trained to become a mountaineer.
Hello. Namaste.
We are welcomed with ceremonial scarves, a symbol of honor and respect, and greeted by Nima's mentor, Conrad Anker, one of America's top mountaineers, who returns to this village each year.
What a beautiful home you have. Wow. It's just breathtaking, literally breathtaking.
Warm up on this wall here.
Anker opened the Khumbu Climbing Center in Portsea in 2003 to provide Sherpas with specialized technical training to improve safety on high-altitude expeditions.
Smooth technique.
Nima graduated top of his class.
We would show up in fancy gear and all the best stuff, and we would see our staff there with worn out gear or not the proper gear, and then not having the technical knowledge. And that, for me, it was eye-opening.
Is there an inequity between Western climbers and Nepalese climbers?
Oh, yeah. It's not just sponsors, it's the value of what they do. I mean, a Western climber dies, and the community rallies up, and there's fundraising. And yet, for the Nepali climbers, it's not recognized in that same sense.
After a night in a tea house, we leave Portsea behind. Our porters are already lined up the mountainside as we begin the push toward 14,500 feet. Taller than most mountains in the United States. We are just 10 miles now from Everest Base Camp. But we cannot go on without a stop that has become tradition for Nima before he summits. A 600-year-old Buddhist monastery. Where we receive a blessing meant to keep us safe. The monks tie a thin cord around our neck, a simple thread to protect us on the mountain. We are ready for Everest.
When we come back, the big business of base camp and the dangerous journey to the summit. Once viewed as a near impossible feat in the most brutal conditions achieved only by the most daring, climbing Mount Everest has shifted from a symbol of ultimate adventure to something mere mortals can accomplish and take a summit selfie to prove it. Today, Everest is a booming, multi-million-dollar high-altitude industry with guided climbs fetching six-figure sums. Base camp has become a tourist destination, as we learned when we made the trek in May. The commercialization has brought wealth and opportunity to the Sherpas of Nepal, but also pressure as they carry the weight of the climbing season.
It is peak Everest season, that narrow window in May when the weather holds just long enough for climbers to make their move up to the top of the world. We have been walking for 8 days.
So pretty.
And are now crossing a critical threshold when the body begins to falter. As we gain altitude, every breath delivers less oxygen. In extreme cases, when the brain swells and lungs fill with fluid, severe altitude sickness can be fatal. It's why we don't take the easy way up in a helicopter. The body needs the slow ascent to acclimatize.
These are the memorials are right here?
Uh-huh. For all the climbers who passed away.
The hillside ahead is covered in memorials.
This one is from 2014 avalanche.
For those who never made it back from Everest summit. 1 in 3 deaths on Everest is a Sherpa. In 2023 alone, 18 people died, the most in 1 year. So high up, their bodies are almost impossible to recover. Our guide, Nima Rinji Sherpa, the youngest climber to summit the world's 14 highest mountains, knows this all too well.
It seems like death is inevitable in what you do.
I've seen many people pass away, and yeah, it's always there. But you believe that you're not gonna die.
You use death almost as a motivator.
Mm-hmm. You have to be more careful when you're in the mountains because every time you go, you are so energized and you feel like nothing is gonna happen to you. And then when you see someone pass away, or then you feel like, okay, this is real. Yeah. Final day of the trek.
Yeah, we did really well so far.
And I'm very emotional, about to cry, but...
Don't say that.
Okay.
Today is the first time we'll be touching 5,000 meters, 16,404 feet to be exact.
Which country you're from?
From Canada.
Even up here in this glacial valley,
You're a hero.
Nima is a celebrity. This high up, besides the tourists, it's you, the yaks, and the altitude that crushes your chest.
It took me about 12 days to get up this hill.
We're mere hours from base camp.
It's gotten much colder.
Tonight, maybe minus 15?
Minus 18?
Maybe.
Oof, that's brutal.
Our porters who carried all our gear up this mountain have already made it to base camp and are heading back down and on to their next job.
Look at them, they're running down the mountain. I'm barely making it up and they're coming back down already. This is amazing. Thank you.
This is the final approach.
Really almost there now. Oh my God.
Less a trail than a passage to where the high Himalaya begins.
Just you can see, base camp.
There it is. We did it.
After 10 days of climbing, we catch our first glimpse of Everest Base Camp. It sits on top of constantly shifting and melting ice.
Wow. Incredible. Oh! Oops. What is that? The rock is falling off.
The world's highest glacier, the Khumbu Glacier.
Freezing. Nose feels like it's gonna fall off. This is where you try to not fall in the glacier lake. Every rock counts.
Here at 17,600 feet above sea level, every breath delivers only half the oxygen. It's like breathing through a straw.
We're so close.
Our lips are blue, a sign that we are not getting enough oxygen.
It's like a Instagram photo shoot.
Yes, famous stone.
But we've made it.
Welcome to Everest Base Camp. I was like, am I gonna make this? Do I need a helicopter? So nice to see you. Namaste, thank you.
We're officially here now.
Oh my goodness.
From a few dozen successful summits in the early 1980s to a near record, almost 500 climbing permits issued this season, Everest has never been more commercialized. And climbers go to new extremes to stand out, such as the British team who this season summited Everest in less than a week by using xenon gas to boost oxygen levels in their blood.
Has tourism changed Everest for better or worse?
For Nepal, of course, Everest has been a blessing. For Sherpas, for the country, the biggest revenue source.
It's a big part of your family's livelihood.
You have to understand that it's not only us who is getting the business, but the taxi driver, the heli pilot, the lodges, the porters, the whole economy is sustaining, So you cannot just say that only we are profiting. So everyone is profiting from this.
Nima Sherpa, our inspiration.
Thank you, guys.
Commercial expeditions have transformed Everest into high-altitude luxury. Today, some climbers pay up to $180,000 for premium packages that come with private chefs, a movie theater, and espresso machines.
Come to Sona.
For better or worse, this is Everest now. And starting in 2013, Nima's father, Tashi Lakpa Sherpa, helped build it, turning an isolated mountainside into an economy. What was once a weeks-long, bone-chilling wait at base camp for a summit window, that lull in the weather when it's safe to attempt a move to the top, can now feel like summer camp on a glacier.
Hola.
Small luxuries aside,
You have call.
2 nights here test every ounce of resilience. Breathing, eating, and sleeping are struggles, and the bathroom is a bed of rocks in a flapping tent. The wind is brutal, the cold piercing, and the terrain offers no shelter from the elements.
Camp 2, this is Camp 2, 6,500 meters.
As always, it's the Sherpas who shoulder the burden, especially on expeditions that extend beyond ours and push up to higher camps and ultimately to the summit, a journey that can take weeks.
Everest.
Through it, they navigate Everest's deadliest terrain, the Khumbu Icefall. A maze of shifting towers of ice and bottomless crevasses, it's the elite Sherpas called Icefall Doctors who go in first. They build the route with ladders lashed together over sheer drops. Every step is a gamble. Sherpas cross far more than any climber, risking everything for someone else's summit. To make it safer, innovation is taking flight. For the first time, expedition companies, including Seven Summit Treks, are using drones to ferry loads in high altitudes.
The drones are flying around as we speak right now.
The drones are now helping the icefall doctors. They're helping to take the ladders, the ropes, and at the same time the drones are helping to bring down all the trash and many things.
The hope is that the new technology might reduce the number of fatal accidents.
So these are jobs that Sherpas would have done in the past.
The job is not gone away. It's just making the job easier and safer and faster.
So if it takes a porter hours to climb from base camp to Camp 1, how quickly can a drone do it?
3 minutes.
3 minutes?
3.5 minutes, yeah.
Wow. Inexperience can be deadly, especially at the top of the world's highest mountain.
From Everest summit.
In the death zone, where every minute counts, one stalled climber can trap dozens behind them for hours, turning Everest into the world's highest traffic jam. When the inevitable rescue is needed, it's Simone Moro who gets the call. The Italian has been flying helicopters for Nima's family and climbing this mountain for years. In April, he pulled off this dangerous rescue mission. So high up, there was barely enough air to keep the rotor blades spinning.
You can't imagine how many people they come up, some with not enough acclimatization, some other with not enough preparation, and they start to feel bad. And if I don't go and pick them and quickly took them down, they die for pulmonary edema, cerebral edema, and this happens quite often, even in the night while they are sleeping in the lodge. In the morning they go, try to wake up, they are dead.
Even for those who survive the night, another danger often looms.
Whoa. This one is big.
This avalanche stopped just short of our tents, one of many that followed a 5.5 magnitude earthquake when we were on the mountain.
For sure, this is an extra stress that you feel it because...
Oh, we felt the stress. I heard the avalanche all night.
But honestly, the base camp for such kind of danger, you have a higher danger here than not higher.
I'm glad you're telling me this on our final day as we're about to leave.
It was intentional that we didn't tell you anything. Plan of the day.
When he's not flying around the mountain, Moro, one of the world's top climbers, is scaling them. And now he's taking Nima with him. Together, they are training to conquer more peaks, this time without fixed ropes, supplemental oxygen, or support teams. It is survival as sport.
It's snowing, also very cold, huh?
There's a difference between you and me. What's different in here?
I think we are a little bit better in suffering, maybe. So people
You've heard me complaining.
people like Simone, me, like my dad, my uncle. Like we know we come from zero. We're nobody in this world, and we created something for ourselves.
So like this is your legacy, but the mountain is also your legacy. You know, usually you don't talk to 19-year-olds about their legacies.
Yeah, I don't know about legacy for now. Maybe one day I will have my own legacy, maybe after 20, 30 years, yeah?
All right, we'll circle back in 30 years.
Okay, sure.
In Kathmandu, though. I'm not coming back all the way up here.
Yeah.